What's good, y'all? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm going to be reviewing Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, written and directed by Quentin Tarantino and starring Leonardo DiCaprio, Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, and the rest of the Tarantino all-stars. The movie takes place in 1969 Hollywood, which is captured absolutely perfectly in this movie. I wasn't alive in 1969, obviously, but I've seen pictures, and I can imagine this is how it felt. If the feel of Hollywood and just the energy there is captured perfectly in this movie. Now, the movie follows Rick Dalton, who is a kind of a big TV star in Hollywood. He's on like a Western on NBC, but his star is kind of fading. Now, riding with him is Cliff Booth, who is his stunt double. And Cliff, although he's not the bigger star, has less money, has less everything, seems more secure in himself. Now, these two, their chemistry, Rick is played by Leo and Cliff is played by Brad Pitt. Their chemistry in this movie is tremendous. Now, he's ride or die throughout the whole story of the film, despite Rick is just like going through it. He's just realizing he's not what he used to be. Now, going on in the background is the story of Sharon Tate. Now, Sharon Tate is an actual person from American history. She was murdered in the Tate LaBianca murders by Charles Manson and his children. His children basically meaning disenfranchised, basically kids that hippies and kids that left home and they're vulnerable. Charles Manson took advantage of them and had them commit some of the most horrific crimes in American history. So it's very famous crimes. So we're following Sharon. So you're seeing what's going on with her. Like, I know the story. I read the book Helter Skelter, so I know what happened with her. So I'm like, feel for her. She's just this happy-go-lucky person. She's played by Margot Robbie, who does a tremendous job. Now, why is she important? She lives next to Rick Dalton. She's married to Roman Polanski, who was one of the great film directors of all time. At that time, he was one of the hottest directors out. Now, they are next door neighbors to Rick. Now, Rick was a star. These are rising stars. Sharon's on the rise. Roman's already the biggest guy on the planet as far as his directing, and Rick's kind of fading. So it's kind of weird that they're neighbors, but that's how Quentin does it. Quentin's taking actual people that exist in history and he's surrounding them with fictional characters that he created to make his own version of history. Now, some people are not going to like that he's altering history, but it's his film and he has, he can do that. So throughout this movie, you're seeing little side stories, and I just love the feel, the energy, the vibe of the movie. The dialogue with the characters is tremendous. The humor is fantastic. Even in the heightened third act, which I'll get into, it is just high intensity, but he keeps it light. It's a little bit tongue-in-cheek. Now, he even gets Bruce Lee involved in there, which I really liked. I thought that was cool. There's a little side thing with Bruce Lee. The guy who played Bruce Lee did a great job as well. Now, as Rick's star is fading, he realizes he needs to get his star back up, so he moves to Rome with Cliff and just does some movies because he's a bigger star over there. So he gets his cachet up, comes back to Hollywood with Cliff. Now, he's still not quite what he used to be, but he has a little more cachet, and he got married to an Italian woman while he was there. Now, once he gets back, he realizes, I can't afford to keep this guy on anymore. I'm not making as much money. I'm married now. So him and Cliff have a going out party. Now, Cliff is just cool as a cucumber. Like, he realized this is his boy, but he's no longer be working with him. They have like a going out party, and their going out party is on the same night that the Tate murders occurred in the Hollywood Hills. The third act of this movie is high intensity. There's 4 of Charles Manson's children in a car. They ride up. Now, this is where it gets very intense. So, like, that these people are murderers. They're psychopaths. They're there. They're plotting a crime. So their car comes up on the street where Rick and Roman Polanski and Sharon Tate live. Now, Roman Polanski's out of town. Sharon is there pregnant and by herself. Not by herself, but she's with her friends. But her husband is not there. Now, when their car rolls up, I'm thinking, whew. And then Rick comes out of the house and Rick's there shouting at him. This is a high intensity scene. So before I get into any spoilers, because I will go over some spoilers, but I will let you know before I do that. The third act is absolutely intense and great. Before I do the spoilers, I want to say I absolutely recommend this movie if you haven't got the picture already. The dialogue is tremendous. The way the movie is shot is tremendous. This is one of those movies that was meant to be seen in the cinema. You have to see this movie in the cinema. Now, it's 2 hours and 40 minutes, which is out of my wheelhouse. I don't like long movies, but I bent for this one. Now, if Quentin let me down with this one, I would probably be very sour on him because I didn't really like The Hateful Eight. That was another long one as well. But this is a great movie. Definitely recommend it. You need to go see it. Hang in. Even if you're not familiar with the Tate Manson story, still hang in there. That last scene is high level intensity. I definitely recommend this movie. Now I left the movie and I'm walking past all the other movies that are playing. I see Pets 2, Aladdin, Lion King, Spider-Man Far Away From Home, remake, reboot, sequel. And then then I went to go see this movie. It's an original idea. It's a new idea. I love that. There's nothing wrong with the sequels, remakes, and reboots. They're fun, they're enjoyable, but they're sometimes very forgettable. You know what to expect. You've seen the formula done, you're just going for the ride. This is a cinema experience. This is a new movie. This is a new idea. It's kind of in the vein of Inglourious Bastards or Django, where he's taking American history, terrible parts of American history, and he's putting his own twist on it. So I'm going to give spoilers right now. So I got my hands up. I'm saying there's going to be spoilers right now, okay? And then I'll put time in the description and in the title for the time of the spoilers. Basically the rest of the video is going to be spoilers. So if you don't want it ruined for you, please stop the video here. If you've seen the movie or you don't care about the movie being spoiled, we're going to go ahead. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All right, we're going to go over the spoilers. So the last scene, as Rick runs off Charles Manson's children, they back out their car down the hill and park it on kind of like a side street, and they're discussing they're going to go up there and murder actors and rich people. They have no idea that Sharon Tate is the one in this house. They just know that there's rich people and they're going to kill them. Now, they're walking up this hill, and this is one of the most famous crimes in American history, and it's being reenacted in a feature film. Now, I'm thinking they're going to go right to the Polanski house. They don't. They stop at Rick's house because he's also famous. They recognize him when he was running them off. Now, Cliff had come back to the house. He's on an acid trip from an acid cigarette. Rick is in the back. He's got music on, music playing. He can't hear anything that's going on. These people bust up into the house, and then the madness unfolds. Those people do not murder any famous people. They get murdered, and the way it happens, you got to ride with it. It is fantastic. I don't want to even ruin that. So in that last scene, those people run up into Rick's house and they get killed. They ran up into the wrong house. Cliff is a stuntman. He's a trained professional. He's got his dog Brandy there. Brandy is an amazing character in the movie. That scene is high level, pure classic Tarantino violence. The action scene, the way everybody's killed, it's graphic, it's heavy, it's high level, but when it's all over and the dust settles, it's one of the best endings to a Tarantino movie I've seen. So again, I absolutely recommend this movie. Go check it out. Have a good time. So one tip I want to give before going to the movie, being it is a long movie, if you need to use the bathroom, knock that out before you get in there. I wouldn't get a big drink because you're going to have to use the bathroom. I needed to run to the bathroom in that last scene. I did not. I'm glad I didn't, because I would have missed a great and tremendous scene. So that's the last thing I want to say. But definitely recommend the film. Go check it out. It's a pure cinema experience. It's a new and original story. You'll like it. If it's a little bit slow for some people, so if you don't like it, I get it. If you don't like it, I won't be offended. We all have different opinions. But yeah, thank you very much for joining me today, everybody. I greatly appreciate your time. Thank you again. Hope you all doing well and have a great weekend. Be well.